Drama in the ninth. Twins blow a 2-run lead, but then rally all the way back down 2. They pull off the walk-off winner. This one had a little bit of everything. Twins find a way to take back game 1. Final score versus Arizona, 9-8. We got the full deep dive. It's all coming up next. Minnesota Twins Postcast.
This is the Twins Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Minnesota Twins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on? Back in the lab, back at it. Another Minnesota Twins Postcast right here. Locked On Sports Minnesota Network, your team every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Got my main man, Sweet Lou Hennesey. Give him a follow on X at Sweet Lou MN, Twins expert over at Zone Coverage MN. Make sure to go check out our guy, Brandon Warren, by the way, over at Locked On Twins Podcast each and every day. All the daily Twins content you can handle over there from our guy, Brandon Warren. 9-8, that's your final. How we got there, though, was pretty wild. Twins 65-82 now on the year. Lots to get into. Serious late game drama. Luke Keyshaw hits the walk-off sac fly. Biggest turning point tonight. Plus, what can we learn from Pablo Lopez's second start back on the mound? But first, let's just jump right into the nuts and bolts. Biggest turning point tonight, Sweet Lou.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I feel like I want to sit here and rattle off every single little thing that happened because there was so much. But let me try to give the 30-second pitch here. 2-1 game, bottom 4. Cody Clemens decides, you know what, 1 home run, not enough for me. He gets greedy. He says, I want seconds tonight. 17th, 18th homer of the year. That puts the Twins up 4-1. And you know, let's just fast forward, I guess, to the 9th, because that's where a lot of the fireworks happen. Twins up 2, 3 outs away from the win. Should be good, right? Cole Sands puts 2 runners on before he can even blink. Don't go to the bathroom, right? And then the dagger, a 3-run bomb, left center. That puts them from down 1 to up 2, Arizona, that is. 4 hits, 4 earned runs in 1 inning of work for Cole Sands. Definitely a night to forget for him. Whatever fans were still left at the ballpark at Target Field, they were sprinting to the exit, I'm sure, at that point. That would be a mistake, though, right? 3 outs left for the Twins. Cody Clemens hits another home run. 3 home run game, solo shot. They're down 1. Ed Julian takes an 0-2 pitch for a hit. Buxton gets hit. Austin Martin gets walked. All of a sudden, the bases are juiced. Still no outs. Trevor Larnach at the plate. He draws a 3-2 walk, and now we're tied 8-8. This game was drunk, Lou, as the kids say, right? Luke Keyshaw, he gets to be the hero. Walk-off sac fly. My goodness, dude. Like the 25 minutes, the last 25 minutes for the Minnesota Twins and Twins fans, just absolutely bonkers. You tell us, though, lots to choose from, right? Biggest turning point from tonight, you got to pick one. When was it and why?
You know, it's easy to say the walk-off hit itself for Luke Keyshaw, and we can talk more about that later. Yeah. But this was Cody Clemens' night, of course. And that 3rd home run, even though it didn't put them, tie at a tie game or give them the lead or anything like that, it still showed that they still had some fight in them, which is not something you could say for this team over the last, I don't want to say a couple months at least, but it sure feels that way. So yeah, you got to give it to Cody Clemens, especially for that 3-homer night. He was locked in. Even some of the foul balls that he was hitting were just scorched. He was seeing the ball really well tonight. And win or lose, you're hoping to find some answers for this club going into 2026. One of the question marks right now is at first base, and maybe Cody Clemens could be part of the solution there. If tonight was any indication, he might just get his chance.
How about the battle? His last at bat already hit 2 home runs, but that last at bat that really sparked the clubhouse, right? A 10 pitch at bat. I want to say at least 9, if not a 10 pitch at bat. So to say he was in the zone for sure, that's putting it mildly. Let's go to our biggest game MVP today.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I mean, just an extension, I think, of what you're just talking about and touching on. So I think I know where you're going here, but drop it on us anyways. Your official game MVP from tonight's victory. Who was it? Why?
Come on, we got to give it to the bottle rocket, Cody Clemens. Good for him. It has not been pretty for him the last couple of months. Like I said, he's still trying to fight for that job for next year, and hopefully he can have more games like this where he's just locked in. I'm not saying that we're going to expect 3 home run games from him on a regular basis or anything like that, but if he can show that he can have competitive at bats, that he can really drive the ball with authority, he might be one of those dudes that it could be. We look back next year and we're like, hey, he was a pretty good pickup for really, pennies on the dollar in the middle of the season.
Let me ask you this, just an extension of that thought. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're the expert, so let me pick your brain. I know he's not an MLB superstar in the making, anything like that, 29 years old, but for how new he is here in the grand scheme of thing, I, for one, have really enjoyed watching the dude play. The consistency, kind of the floor that he gives you in that lineup game in and game out. And again, far from perfect. 29 years old, pretty maybe capped as far as kind of ceiling and potential goes, one would think. But
Sure.
Tonight's performance, man, just another great example. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 4 for 4. When I think about who's going to be the core pieces of 2026, and again, I know we're talking about tonight's game specifically, but I just really think what he brings to the table as kind of that glue guy, I feel like definitely checks a lot of boxes. Are my Twins glasses too rosy, I guess, on that take, or how do you see it as well?
That is pretty rosy, but you know what? They're desperate for some guys that have some pop in their bat, and Cody does have that. If anything, he's been, like I said, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster season for him, but somebody who can hit the ball over the fence every once in a while is something that they desperately need in this lineup. With, like we said, filled with a lot of question marks, or at least with a lot of youngsters who are still trying to get their feet wet and trying to establish themselves as major leaguers.
This is what you'll be talking about.
What we'll be talking about tomorrow, late game drama, late game heroics, Cole Sands, this wouldn't be possible, Lou, without Cole Sands. So, we got to shout out Cole Sands for that, but comes in to close up shop, up 2, right? Gives up 4 hits, 4 earned, absolutely brutal night to forget. But then here come the Twins. Cody Clemens again rallies the troops, 3rd home run of the night. And all of a sudden, Luke Keyshaw gets to be the hero with that walk-off winner sac fly. What does a win like this do for a team who's clearly playing spoiler at this point and just trying to build some momentum for 2026?
Yeah, man, how good would this win have felt in mid-July? This would have been a tentpole victory that maybe they could,
or if they were actually in playoff contention right now on September 12th. Yeah,
boy, that would be a lot of fun. But like I said, we're hoping to learn some stuff about the 2026 team in these games in September right now. And this is, we're not really too concerned with the record at this point or the standings, but we are concerned with what youngsters are learning. And this was a great learning opportunity for Luke Keyshaw to, all we needed from him tonight was to hit the ball somewhere in the outfield, and it scores Byron Buxton from 3rd. And he did that. I don't know if there's a lot of other guys in this lineup that I'm comfortable saying, I trust him to hit the ball with authority to the outfield in a tight situation like that. There's a lot of swing and miss in this lineup. So it's really good for Luke Keyshaw, who might be one of the star players of this lineup going into next year. He's looking like the second baseman of the future here. So it's good for youngsters like that to know what it feels like to get a win, to feel that Gatorade bath at the Gatorade shower at the end of the game, even in a lost season. That's good for Luke Keyshaw. That's good for the Twins going forward.
How about Pablo Lopez, by the way? 2nd game back after missing, nearly 3 months with that arm injury. He was great in his start 1, I guess, versus KC last week. Didn't get the win. Twins lost 2-1, but he did his part. He was great again tonight, I thought. 5 innings, 4 hits, two runs, but no earned runs on the resume tonight. 6 Ks, 99 pitches. Maybe it's not the A-plus version of Pablo we're used to, but even his floor is pretty damn good, like we saw tonight. Well, what'd you like from him in this one? How's his stuff look kind of post-injury compared to what we were getting pre-injury? And, maybe most importantly, what are we learning about Pablo Lopez that we can kind of glean on for the future?
Yeah, no, he wasn't as sharp tonight as maybe we're used to seeing Pablo Lopez, but he showed that even when he's not at his sharpest, he can still get it done, and he can still give you 5 pretty solid innings, 6 strikeouts, really good. what I like about Pablo Lopez, or at least what he brought to the table tonight, is when he misses, he doesn't miss in the middle of the zone. He misses and it's a curveball that is just never a strike or something like that. And he knows how to get back in the at bat at that point. It's different for some of these young pitchers who I'm still really excited about, but guys like Zebby Matthews, where we see him have really good games and then he makes a mistake by leaving a cookie right down the pipe. Pablo Lopez isn't going to do that necessarily. So it was good to see Pablo get through 5. We just want to see him get, maybe 3 more solid starts, go into the off season healthy. There's a lot of speculation that maybe he would be a trade candidate in the off season, which would be a big gut punch. But if he can show that he's healthy and he can come back into next year, kind of anchoring this rotation, that's a good place for them to start.
Nerdy stat of the day. Any crazy stat, fun analytic, Twins related tonight?
Yeah, kind of going along in that same vein. This comes from our friends at Inside Edge. Pablo Lopez, since the start of 2023, so since he became a Twin, has a 36% chase rate with runners in scoring position, and that's top 5 in all of baseball in that time. So like I said, when he misses out of the zone, and sometimes those batters are still chasing it, but he doesn't leave the cookies right down the middle. So it's cool to see that since he's become a Twin, he's been one of those kind of nasty guys in the same vein as like Chris Sale is at the top of that leaderboard. Chris Sale is a future Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Pablo Lopez has that same trajectory necessarily, but that's good company to be in, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. Don't go anywhere. What we loved, what we hated from tonight, that's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by Nutrafol. I'm sure you're like me. You've seen millions of ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There's so many products out there. Hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This supplement, clinically tested, it targets the root causes, thinning, shedding with a proactive approach. Whether you're at work with friends or just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine. And I love that Nutrafol is so simple to add to your daily routine. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed. Easy peasy, on with your day. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. This episode also brought to us by FanDuel. NFL season's here. FanDuel ready to kick off a can't-miss offer for you. Right now, new customers bet just $5. If your first bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Why I love FanDuel? They got everything, man. Player props, same game parlay. Even if you're jumping in live as the action unfolds, you name it, they got it. It's so quick, it's so easy, and the best way to add a little bit more enthusiasm to your Sundays. Are you ready to play? Download FanDuel app. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel.com. Get $300 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 bet. All right, glass half empty, half full. Just give me one thing that you loved from the Minnesota Twins tonight. Let's just start there. One positive that's kind of noteworthy and just maybe an encouraging sign in your eyes, and why.
Look, both my positive and my negative come from the bullpen tonight. I loved seeing Cody Funderburk come out since the trade deadline, since he came back up in July 25th, I want to say was the date. He's been really good. He's been really good as their basically only real lefty that they have in the bullpen out there tonight. A clean inning yet again. I think he has a 1.50 ERA since August 1st. That's really good to see. He's going to be one of those guys that I'm not going to say he's a lock for the bullpen next year, but there's a lot of open spots in that relief corps. So Cody Funderburk coming in with a clean inning yet again. Really cool to see. And then if we go on the flip side of that, which I'm sure you're about to ask me, got to go with Cole Sands. He's another guy who at this point, he's the only lock for next year's bullpen. And tonight and the other night, unfortunately, were a step in the wrong direction for him. Tonight, especially. Last week, he gave up a triple and then it's a sac fly. There's not much you can do there. Tonight, 4 straight hits and 4 earned runs, including that just back-breaking home run. Not fun to see from Cole Sands. So the flip side of the coin is also in the bullpen tonight.
Let me pick your brain about the catcher for the Twins. Johnny Pareda right now back there at catcher. Obviously, all year it's always, Christian Vasquez, Ryan Jeffers. Johnny Pareda, though, in his last 11 at-bats, I want to say 5 hits. Where's he kind of fit into the equation of things? And what'd you like from his game tonight, kind of on the micro and macro level?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Pareda, this is what you're going to get from a lost season in the last month or two here. Really good for him. He's making the most of his opportunity, and even though a lot of Twins fans probably aren't super familiar with him, he might be the backup catcher coming into next year. Who knows? At the very least, he's going to be in the competition, and if he can keep going on the right foot here in September, Twins will gladly take it.
Just kind of quick snapshot. Saturday, Sunday's matchup, games 2 and 3. 9 more home games in a row, by the way. 15 games left on the docket for 2025. And we get another look at Joe Ryan tomorrow back on the mound. After watching tonight's game just kind of unfold the way it did, I guess, what's your number one storyline you're looking at in tomorrow and Sunday's matchup?
Yeah, hoping Joe Ryan can get back on the right foot here. It sounds like last start when he got shelled, he was dealing with some sort of illness yet again. So hopefully he's feeling a lot better going into the start. And he can really give them some innings. The last few seasons here, the second half of the season has been a test for him, both health-wise and performance-wise. And we're starting to see that in September for Mr. Joe Ryan, who was just so absolutely aces in the first half of the season. So here's hoping that he can put together 2 or 3 starts before the end of the year, have a healthy offseason, come back better than ever next year in 2026.
Crazy ninth inning dramatics. Hope you didn't shut this one off or leave the stadium early. Twins with the walk-off winner. Cody Clemens, 3 home run night, 5 RBIs, 4 for 4. 65 and 82 now. That's the Twins record on the year. Go check out all of Sweet Lou's work on X at Sweet Lou MN, plus all the work he's always putting up over at ZoneCoverageMN.com as well. Luke Inman on X at Luke_Spimman. Again, game 2 tomorrow. We got a 6:10 first pitch. Joe Ryan back on the mound. We'll catch you right here. Same time, same place. Until then, signing off.